Okay, I thought I would show you how I actually hands-on do this, so what better way to do that than just dive in and do it. What I use is tracing paper. I just get myself a little tracing paper. It's transparent enough, but yet durable enough for if it gets wet or whatever. And all I do is cut myself a piece out that I think I might need the dimensions of, and I'm gonna do this leaf here. Well, this is a leaf. You probably can't tell, but I know that this is a leaf. So I'm gonna go in here. And remember how I said I morph things as I go? Or maybe I didn't say that in this part, but I create the pattern so I can change the pattern at any time. So if I don't like the way that it's working out, I can always change it. Like I can already see here and now, I don't like the way that's going in, the pattern's way in there, so I'm gonna bring it out here. And then it's gonna make more sense when I cut, or when I line up the pieces around it. It'll make more sense than going way in there. And I have to work around that, and it would probably look better, 2 leaves hanging that way. So, got my little piece. I'll cut it out. Okay, so I was kind of looking through the light, and I this is on the edge, so that's a benefit. But I kind of like this area right here. So that's where I'm going to place my pattern. I could cut a stress reliever. What I mean by that is, so it has a straighter way to release the pressure in case it doesn't want to make the curve sharp. Let's see. See? It would have, it still didn't take my stress reliever. It gave way right there. But either or. It didn't ruin my pattern, so. And which I'm not going to show you the grinding anyways, because that's kind of not that exciting. But if you look, I don't know if you can tell, but I can tell, I need to trim up a little bit here to help these 2 go flush. So okay, so I wanted it to be a little larger. There we go. I put it where I think I want it. Draw my little line. To fit in there. Tight and snug. Then once I get it nice and tight and snug, I don't want it shifting. I'll just put a pin in. That way I don't go moving whenever I'm over here working something. Let's see. And then keep going. Because my patterns always morph. That moved a wee bit. Did you see it slide? Keeps the glass shards down. Probably don't brush off my area enough, but I try to brush it off more frequently. I used to use one of those grids that caught all the glass shards. And then I realized how uncomfortable it was to cut on top of it. That's when I was first learning. And then now, I just cut on top of a flat surface. I always check my glass into the light. Checking the texture. So I chose it in mine on the smoother side. Sometimes I purposely choose the texture side. I was like, well, that kind of looks like a blizzardy, and this one looked more calm and glossy, so iced over. It made me think of like freezing icy. So that's why I chose it. Everything here. And then now I just have to get, and I got these pieces I can use later. And the little bitty one, I don't know, I won't be able to. But this, I need to trim. So. I need to polish my tools. There's so much, there's a lot to do in stained glass. You're just like, oh, it's just cutting glass. Blah, 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 blah. No, you got to keep up on your tools. Look, my tools need to be stoled and dunked in oil and polished up. Okay, now I'm going to take this to the grinder. See, some of this is made in the glass. That's the glass. That's just the way the glass is made. And some of it's got those creases, and they're not like there. That's just creases in the glass. When it was made, like that is an air pocket or a crease. It's not an imperfection. It just shows probably that it was hand poured, or whatever way they do it, but in the proper places. Okay, right now I'm trying to, I'll deal with these more when I get down there, but I'm fitting it as I go down. So right now I want to get this area right here fitted. So I got my branches already, and I need to get the frost or the background for this area. Change the dimension. Okay. And pull out your little pattern. So it'll be like that. That is, sometimes a Sharpie will smudge on your, as much as I don't favor that, there's not really a lot you can do about it. Okay, now you see I did my shape. Perfect shape. You watched me draw it. And you're like, yeah. And then it's not fitting properly. So I will lift up that glass just a wee bit, like that. And I'm gonna trace, if I can get my marker to do its one job, and push it up against this one. That's not fitting there either, very good, is it? So let's see. Let's see what I need to do here. Slender it down is what I need to do. I just need to know by what. How much? The top, that's okay. It's this piece. Hopefully that's right. Woo, that's a big trim. I hope that's right. I'm gonna have to recut it if it's wrong. Okay, eye partner went right up to that line. I mean, I kind of dissolved the line away. So we're gonna find out if this fits together. I have no clue. I haven't tested it. I drilled it and put it in. Looky there, it's gonna work. Well, this branch looks a little long, but I can chisel that little branch down to make him fit in there good. And then we're a little step closer. See, I'll show you what I'll do. Put that little branch in there. And then I'm going to lay this piece right on top, barely. And it's a tricky little thing you're doing. You're going to barely place it up there, and then you're going to make your little mark. If the other one, see how they wiggle? Makes you nuts sometimes because you got to try so many times. But I'd invest in some little stick pins to hold everything down. Put it up here where you know. Get your little, hopefully it's marking, doing its job. And I'm going to run the marker across. Made a mark, hopefully. Then I'll know. Okay. That's how thick it needs to be, even though I've already measured this baby. But it wants to be whipped down just a tad bit more. This one's going to be really, boiling time's going to be small. But I'll be alright. See if we can get this back in there, right? There we go. Okay, November 4th, 2025. And I thought I'd state the date. Okay, thought I would share the progress of where I'm at in this project. And right now, these are just loose. These 5 are being worked in. These are partially stationed where they're going to be. And right now I'm trying to partially station and permanently station these. I've cut this frost glass behind them. It looks kind of like a J shape, but I'm going to put that there. I'm using my nifty Sharpie. No, I don't think I want to go all the way up there, but I will put, like I said, partial. And then one there. So I basically need to trace around these two to place them where I want them. Let's use another piece of glass to help hold it up while we decide where it should be. As close as I can to the base. And then now I'll do the same here. Could move that over here. Now I need this one. I'm gonna have to use my piece of glass again to help hold it up. And this one there. And this one here. So 4, 5, and 6. All right. Now let me do my magic, and when I come back, these will all be browned out and we can see how they fit. 4 was here, right? And then we said 5 and 6. I hope that's what I said, because that's what I think I said. There it is, fitting pretty good. I still need to put a little piece of frost in there. But let me see if I can get a little bit of a fatter one. Okay. So now I need to figure out where I want to work next. Like I said, these pieces down here are done except for meeting in. I might put this piece in next and then figure out the placement exactly of these and go from there. So I guess next I'll cut out this little piece right here. So I'm going to want to put this paper underneath so I can get a clear cartoon, a clear pattern of how big the space needs to be. So I'm going to put this paper under there. And you just shimmy it under the best you can. Try to keep everything tight to where it is anything else that you've done. And then that in place. I'm gonna go ahead and use, see if anything slightly moved. That was a little loose. If anything slightly moved, then it could change the dynamics and make it loose. So, or too tight. See that? I have to make sure there's enough for this little guy. Just a lead pencil. You can use a Sharpie, but the lead pencil seems to get in tight areas. Okay. All the sides are traced. Now I'll cut it out. I have my tracing paper shimmied under this glass, and I have to place my pieces where I want to keep them. Cut them. Now these are getting small, so what I'll do is I'll cut along the lines on the straight edges. It appears very straight. If that don't crease in that much, I'm not going to stress about it that much. I'll go straight here where the dividend is. I'm not going to do where the circle is yet when I'm cutting my first initial cut. Same with this. I'll trace around like this, as close as I can to the line. But when it comes to, like, I'll do this and that and this. So I'm not making it terribly crazy to cut out. It's just a simple cut. Then once I get it cut, I'll do a little more. I'll cut that piece out, lay it on, grind it or cut it. Do it again, cut that piece out, lay it down, grind it or cut it. Then I'll cut this piece off, lay it down, grind it and cut it, so I can do it slowly. It just seems to work that way well for me. And same here. I'll just cut this rectangle, and then after I've cut it in glass, I'll go back, cut this, and then trace it, and then grind it or cut it out. So I'll get that to fit first. Hi, Tip Dog. My winner boy. Got your little, he's got a new little coat. Yeah, a little, he looks like a little army dog with his army green coat. Okay. So a little bit more on that side and a bunch on this side. I'm numbering them. 8, 9. Because it seems like it's important where they're fitting. 9. Dog, quit banging stuff around. 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, here's 16, and my favorite, 17. So now I will be ready to foil.